Welcome to one and all. Here today we are going to talk about well-being to Mr. Tilak Chawdhury. He is working in Aegis Consulting. I would like him to introduce himself to all of you today. Welcome, sir. Please say a few words about yourself.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Tilak Chawdhury. I have got about 20 years of experience in different fields of communication. I've got about 7.5 years in advertising, mainline advertising. Then I did about a year and a half in PR. Then I have been in corporate communication for the last, I think, 11 years. So I've worked with brands like Jubilant. Right now I'm working with Aegis. I've worked with Kinetic, Ambuja Cement, Taj Group of Hotels. So these are some of the brands I've worked with. I also worked for about a year as a freelance journalist with Times of India, where I was working with the Dombivli Kalyan supplement, and which is called DK Plus and West Side Plus. These are two supplements of Times, which comes out, I think, once a week or twice a week. Just to freelance with them, and even now I do a little bit of freelance writing with magazines like Reputation Today and other publications. So that's what I do. For Aegis, I take care of the communication. I work very closely with the France team, and to some extent, I take care of the CSR and the employee engagement as well.
That's very nice to know. I'm curious to know that you have worked in so many fields with so many companies, and you're working in communications right now for ages. What drew you to well-being?
I think, as a communication person, you need to understand people very well, because your communication is to connect with people. And when you connect with people, you see that others are going through a lot of things or changes, and even you as a person are going through those changes. So I think somewhere this corporate culture sometimes becomes a little stressful for all of us, and we are having very long working hours. We are spending a lot of time commuting. Somewhere I feel there's a need for us to be more balanced, more centralized, and more more time to be given to ourselves, to relax, to rejuvenate, to refinish whatever we have lost. I think that is the reason why I was very interested in wellness and well-being.
That's very interesting to know. What do you do for well-being for yourself?
I have started doing a few things. I mean, I'm just a beginner in most of them. I do a little bit of blogging. I do a little bit of reading. I do a little bit of meditation. I have started maintaining a gratitude journal, and I've started maintaining a diary for myself. I try to spend a little more time with my daughter, who's 11 years old, and give more time to the family. I cycle with my wife, so we both are cyclists. So we are beginners in cycling, but we enjoy doing cycling together. That's something that gives us time together and alone. And I am a big fan of Netflix and other OTT platforms. I have a lot of things that I keep doing, which keeps my mind off from work and helps me recharge my batteries.
That's very interesting to know. Were you always into taking care of your health for yourself and your family? How did your journey start off? Would you like to share with us?
Actually, when I was in school, I was a very, I was into sports. I played for Maharashtra in under 14 table tennis. I was part of the Maharashtra team, and I also learned Korean karate, taekwondo in my school. So, and even there, I participated at a state level competitions. So, health was never a problem for me. I mean, I was always very fit. I was always very diseases were something that I very rarely I fell ill. But somewhere when I joined the corporate and I got introduced to this, fast food and long working hours and drinking, clubbing, somewhere the whole exercise regime got replaced by all lazy, unhealthy habits. And over the years, I started just becoming more and more sedentary and more burnt out life I started living. And somewhere I felt maybe 2 years back I was referred to Osho ashram by somebody, and that was, I think, the starting point for me, where I went and lived there for 4 days. I did a workshop called, I think, loving yourself, or something. I don't even remember, but I spent 4 days there, and that was a turning point for me. I mean, I slept on the ground with 20 other people, and I meditated from morning to evening. It was something I've never done before. I mean, I've never been a very spiritual person. I've always been a very practical, very in the moment kind of a person. So it was a very nice feeling. When I came out from there, I felt very positive. And then I got interested in Osho. I started reading a lot of things about Osho. I started following Sadhguru. I started, listening to TED talks on well-being, general wellness. I started listening to Gaur Gopal Das. I started listening to Jay Shetty. I started listening to a lot of Western people who do these kind of talks, like Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma. And somewhere, I started developing an interest for it. And I said, this is something that, has to be an integral part of our life. Because other than that, we are just as your body needs nourishment, your mind, your spirit also needs nourishment. And these are, avenues which help you replenish your batteries, your emotional batteries, your spiritual batteries.
That's very true. That's a very beautiful journey that you have gone through here. And with your journey and experience, how do you share it with your friends and your colleagues at Aegis and your relatives around you? How do you do that?
See, there are two ways I try to address it. Nobody really wants to be told that, you need a spiritual journey. I mean, if you go and tell anybody, hello, you need a spiritual journey, they'll say, I don't need it. I'm good. It has to come from within. So the only way you can help people, you know, sensitize or get sensitized to it, or develop an interest for it is maybe use the social media. Being somebody in communication, I'm very active on social media, and I use LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook for these kind of posts. And I try to put positive posts so that people get encouraged, people get feel at least some amount of positivity, because I see so much negativity around. I don't feel like posting anything negative unless I'm really, really having a bad day, and I just can't control myself. Otherwise, I never put up a negative post, because it doesn't help anyone. It just adds fuel to the fire. It's better if you can put something positive which helps people think, which helps people even laugh. I've started a comedy channel on Facebook called Say Cheese, and I put some weird one liners about film stars. I try to stay away from politics, because politics is something that I don't think is a laughing matter, but everything else can be taken with a pinch of salt. And I try to make fun of everybody and everyone without hurting anybody emotionally, so that people at least smile. And even if one person is smiling, it doesn't cost me any money. So that is what I try to do. And when it comes to people in Aegis, I am working very closely with the HR team, who are entrusted with this responsibility of keeping people engaged. And so we brainstorm together, we come up with ideas together. I do a lot of communication around it, so that I create films around it. I try to be part of these activities where I'm facilitating it in some way or the other. So that is how we are trying to spread it. Like, we did one contest during the lockdown, the previous lockdown, where we made a group in Strava. There's an app called Strava, and we asked people to just go and cycle as much as they want. And together we said whoever cycles the most becomes a winner. So it was more like a fun activity where people were not getting to see each other, but you could see how much people were cycling, and you can't imagine, adults who are 40, 45 years, they were so enthusiastic about it. People actually woke up in the morning and said, tomorrow I'm going to do so many kilometers, and people used to actually do it. And it was so motivating for people who were not participating. They clapped, they cheered, they sent messages. It was so much fun. And even if 300 people out of 3,000 people are interested in it, if you're able to engage 10% of the population, I think it's a very big achievement.
It's definitely a very big thing to engage 300 people, to make one person look into themselves within and want to make a change for the better is by itself a great achievement, I feel. It's very, very interesting to know the efforts that you're putting along with your HR team managers. I wanted to know, I was curious actually. I've seen that you like my posts on LinkedIn, our content which I post. So, what is it that draws you to my posts and content?
Anybody who's trying to spread positivity on social media, I try to encourage. I try to be a part of that because, as I said, negativity is something that is so much in abundance. If you see, celebrities writing negative, people with lots of followers writing something negative, I don't see the reason for it. I mean, what's the point? I mean, if you can't, make somebody happy, if you can't make somebody smile, people are already stressed, people are already having a tough time. So if you are making them even more stressed, it's not going to help. So anyone who's trying to do something positive, I try to be part of that and try to support it in my own humble way.
That's very kind of you. You were saying that you were also part of the HR team trying to bring up changes for the people in well-being in ages. Can you list out a few of the activities apart from cycling and jogging activities? Which
Recently what we have done is we tied up with two organizations, and they came on board and did introductory courses for all our employees. One was for heartful meditation. So we learned how to do heartfulness through virtual medium like a Zoom or this. So we had a 3-day course for everyone. It was complimentary, courtesy the institute. And then we also tied up with a yoga organization, which has voluntary free sessions for anyone and everyone. I mean, anyone who wants to join, they're free to join. So we did that, I think, for about 7 days, and we're planning to continue with that. So we had about 14, 15, 20 people joining, because it's very early in the morning. Not everybody wants to get up in the morning and come, but at least 14, 15 people are learning something, they're talking about it, and it will help others get motivated. So that's the whole idea. We're not expecting people to do some very complicated yoga. Like, I myself can't do anything complicated. I do some very basic yoga, like breathing techniques, and because I'm very unfit that way. I can't do uh, stuff which kind of physically can harm me. But I try to do things which is basic, like mind control. You try to imagine your breathing, or you try to visualize your breathing, or you try to visualize your heart as a light, and you try to meditate. Even if you're able to do that for 10 minutes every day, it makes you feel good. Basic breathing exercises, basic Surya Namaskar, if you're able to do every day. I think if you're doing it 5 times a day, it's good enough for people like us who are doing nothing to doing something. So the whole idea is to take baby steps and not rush into something, so that you most of the time what happens is we all take a new year resolution that we want to start gymming, and we want to start change our health habits, and we spend money on gym. I have done it so many times. I've wasted so much money on gyms, but we don't end up going. I mean, we think that if we just pay the money, we're going to lose weight. It's not going to happen. So you have to be regular, you have to be dedicated, and that's not there. It's not going to come from zero. We try to straight away go to 80. It doesn't work. It has to be a gradual increase. So if we realize that, and if you're consistent about it, I think what I have realized in anything in life is consistency. If you're able to consistently do little improvement every day or every week, I think you can, when you look at yourself after 6 months, I think you would have achieved a lot. So maybe that is how we need to realize. I think somebody had said, we underestimate what we can achieve in a decade and overestimate what we can achieve in a year. I think that's very true. We think that in 1 year we're going to change our lives, but what we don't realize is that if we do something consistently for 10 years, maybe 10 years down the line, when you look back, you would be a different person altogether.
True that. We all have to start somewhere. And
yes, I mean, as they say, journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Take that step in the right direction and continue walking in that direction.
Yes, start somewhere and have consistency in your footsteps to get anywhere.
Yes. Yes.
That's a very good point you have made here for everyone today. What advice would you give for beginners who are looking into this journey of wanting to go within, trying to take care of themselves health-wise, mentally and physically?
I being a beginner myself, I would want to say that don't anything too seriously. Don't take life. People who are perfectly healthy, people who are perfectly okay, and they have no more. I mean, I lost one of my very close colleagues in COVID. He was a very good friend of mine, and he was just 35. We just lost him. So life is uncertain. Life is, don't take it for granted. Stay happy. Do things that makes you happy. Find hobbies which help you recharge yourself. So there are three kinds of things I think all of us need to do. One is something that keeps our creative juices flowing. So find a hobby that, like painting or writing or drama, which helps you stay creative. Find a hobby which helps you physically active. Something like a cycling, something like a brisk walk. You could probably walk for half an hour every day. And find something which helps you recharge emotionally. Like something like a gratefulness is something we all can be grateful for. That you might have so much money, but without the medical professionals or without oxygen, you can't survive. So we are all alive. We are getting free oxygen. We're getting free food. We're getting free rainfall. We're not paying for it. So we need to be grateful for these things, because maybe we don't have the perfect lives that we imagined. But what we have is enough. We need to make the most of it. We need to be happy with it. Because long back, I had met one lady. Her name is I forget, one Miss Rao. She used to be a corporate trainer, and now she's become a full-time spiritual speaker. She said a very interesting thing. I attended a lecture and I didn't understand. I was in my college and I went for that. I just didn't understand. I went backstage and I said, "Ma'am, what you said, I didn't understand." So she told me, "Let me explain it in your way." I said, "Okay." She said, "Imagine you are having a Maruti 800 now and you aspire for a Mercedes Benz. How would you go about it?" She said, "There are two ways of going about it. One is you can every day, every morning curse your life saying, 'God, you've been really unfair to me. People have Mercedes Benz, they've got so much money. Why can't you give me a Mercedes Benz?' In that, you may never get a Mercedes Benz and you'll never be happy with the 800. So you're basically unhappy. The second way is be grateful for what you have. Pray to God, thank God, say that thank you for this 800. Can you give me a little more? And so that someday I can also get the Mercedes." So these are two ways. I mean, I think the second way is much better because if we look back, we all have come ahead in life. We all started with something very different, and in most things we have got so much to be grateful for. So I think gratefulness is something that we all need to make part of our life and try to see how we can give back to the society in any way. I mean, even if you can make one person smile, I think that's something you're doing. And look at it as income, entertainment tax to God. Taxes to government. Think of it as entertainment tax to God.
That's a very nice way of putting it. Entertainment tax to God.
Yeah, I mean, say that this is the rent you are paying for, this life, this body that you've got, this house that you've got, this family that you've got, the friends that you've got, the food that you've got, everything you've got it for free. You've not done anything for it. You've not earned it.
True that.
So I think the moment we are grateful about these things, I think a lot of things will open up for us.
Agreed with you completely. Gratitude is a beautiful blossom which opens up our soul to everything else. It gives complete contentment and joy to us and also the people around. And when we feel grateful and feel gratitude to everything and all the people around us, we tend to blossom, and so do everybody else around us. And it's also a very valid point where you said that it's not enough if we receive from God or the divine, but it's our duty to also give back to the society. And this is also one of your beautiful ways of giving to the society by coming on video with me and talking about well-being, giving us your journey, your life journey about well-being, how you started, what you were, and what you have become. I think it's a very beautiful thing that you're doing here with Aegis and also with us today, coming on this video and talking with us. I wish you a beautiful day with your family, and do say hi to everybody at home. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.